Hello again. I'm Bob Weir with another interview of people in the news in North Texas. My special guest today is Flower Mound Councilman Kevin Bryant, who is not running for re-election because of term limitations. Thank you for being here, Kevin.
Thank you, Bob.
For those who may not know, would you please explain the town's term limits?
Sure. It was 2016, we sent a group of propositions to the people for changing term limits and the terms of council members. Because at that time it was three 2-year terms, or 6 years. And what was approved was turning it to a 3-year term, and the language that was approved was term limits were 2 full terms. And people say, well, you've had two terms, why can't you stay 6? When we were proposing these initiatives, we wanted to make sure that if anybody was to have a shortened term, it had to be the members of council that were currently there. And we drew straws, which seat gets the 2-year term, which seat gets the 3-year term, and I drew the 2-year term. And I'm fine with that, because having the 3-year terms for council members is a huge benefit for them, especially for the newer council members coming on. I speak often to our other council members, and they said, even though I was been very involved, it's amazing how much I didn't know. Yeah. And I agree with it completely. And when a council member comes on board, at that time period, you're already in the middle of budget season, and you have no real understanding of what's going on. So that first year you're learning, and then all of a sudden you're up for an election. So that's why moving it to a 3-year term and only having 2 seats up at a time is a benefit to the council and to the town.
Wouldn't it be nice if the Congress of the United States did something like that? I think it would be important.
Yes.
Okay, so as a 2-term councilman, what do you think are the main issues facing Flower Mound right now?
Actually, the biggest issue that no one's talking about, it was printed in your paper and the other papers, the town is currently being sued by an oil and gas company. That could really change the way we deal with the oil and gas. I mean, we have approved by the people the way we want the oil and gas to be treated in our town, but we have a operator that thinks that we're not doing it right, and we're being sued a lot, and that could really have a great impact on our town. And it's something that people are aware about, but it's just kind of in the back of their mind, because it's not a big front page stories like it was in 2010.
Yeah. And if they were to win the lawsuit, what would it mean? It
would mean a dramatic striking of many of our codes and ordinances dealing with oil and gas, and I'm afraid that this is my speculation. I don't have any knowledge. Sure. That the first case is just it's a test case for the House Bill 40 that was passed a few years ago, as far as municipalities' ability to regulate oil and gas. And they will take this first one and then turn it into, we'll strike this, we'll strike this, we'll strike this, and then all of a sudden the municipalities will have zero say-so in oil and gas.
So this will be about fracking?
Yes, about fracking and drilling and everything. It could undo everything that was approved by the people in 2010.
So it's important for residents to know about this.
Yes. And it's something that's not going to be taking place in council. It's going to be taking place in courts. So that we need the people to be aware about this.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so let's go on to the master plan.
Yes.
Under what conditions do you think it should be altered?
It should be altered when it's the right thing for the town. I mean, to come in and say, no, it should never be changed, or throw it out and do it over. No, we have a process in the master plan where we have to review it every so many years. There are projects that need to be looked at. We do have some issues on the east side of town where you have properties abutting an open space, or properties abutting other properties that they want to be developed that aren't contingent. You have houses next to commercial or retail. How do you transition from one to the other? And to make that happen, you need to, there's probably going to be a master plan change done.
So only when certain parameters are
Right.
involved.
Well,
So let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
While you've been on the council, there's been a lot of residential and commercial growth. How do you feel about it? Should we continue along about the same path?
I think we're going on, and it's picked up recently. It's picked up. My first term and a half, it was maintaining at a 1% year-over-year growth, which was actually lower than the rest of the county. We've caught up because some of the newer developments have come online, so more people are coming in. But adding more commercial, adding more office, that helps our tax base, and that helps lessen the impact of the personal property tax.
How do you feel about the TERS for Lakeside?
If it's done right, it can be a good thing. I want to make sure that if you do anything, there's zero risk to the town. That the town maintains control over what goes in and where it goes in, and there is a benefit to the rest of the town. I mean, this Lakeside Village could be a wonderful thing, and if we can get it, if the TERS makes it happen, and we realize the benefits of that quicker, then I think it's a very good thing.
As you know, there's 4 propositions on
Yes.
the ballot, and I want to go over those quickly for your opinions. We
Okay.
have the opinions of the candidates.
Okay.
In Proposition A, as you know, it asks voters to authorize a monthly stipend of
Yes.
$300 for the mayor and $200 for council. What do you think?
That was brought to we've talked about this during the last charter, and we didn't want it. He's like, we don't need it. But in the meantime, there has been a judge's action in Texas that states unpaid representatives of the town are not subject to being protected. And it's a recent thing. People say, why we haven't done this forever? Why are we doing it now? Because judges make law.
So if you're a council member and you make a decision on something that somebody sues you for,
Yeah.
then you're not protected by the town unless you're paid.
It's for tort. If, say, I'm a council member and I am going to Austin to meet with our state reps there, or I'm driving out west to look at a proposed development and I'm in an automobile accident, I cannot be covered by the town because I was traveling under my official capacity. It's tort law is what it is.
So this way, if you were being paid a stipend, you are covered.
We could utilize the town's resources if possible, and it's legal. It's one of those crazy things that, like, why are we having to do this? But the laws change a lot of that.
Okay, Proposition B asks voters to remove the requirement that ordinances adopted by the town be published in the town's official newspaper.
Actually, I'm going to combine B, C, and D because they are all very similar. I mean, they are. When our charter was written, it was been put to the people. There were certain things that we needed to do because the internet wasn't as widely used, and the Texas law was different. So we said, well, this is the Texas law, so we're going to write our charter to be exactly what Texas law requires. Since then, the law has changed. We don't have to we don't have to submit our budget to all these entities that are listed in the charter. But state law tells us where we need to do this. So changing what's in the charter will save the town money and time. Because anything that's in the charter, be it the amount of stipend or whatever, any change that has to be approved by the voter. We can't just say, well, we're going to put a number in it and that can be decided later. It's got every change in the charter has to be approved.
Okay, so that takes care of B, C, and D.
Right.
All right, so then we're coming to a close, so I just wanted to say if there's anything you'd like to add.
Yes, it's been a great 2 terms on council. I've gotten to learn a lot, do a lot of wonderful things, and meet and work with a lot of great people. Specifically, I want to thank town staff for bringing me in, teaching me what I needed to know, being an educator, a mentor, a learner, and a supporter. We have a wonderful town staff, and they they've been great, and I really
Do you think you'll
appreciate it.
be running again sometime?
We'll see what the future holds. There are a lot of things that I would like that I haven't accomplished in government. It takes a long time to get things done, so we'll see.
And from now on, if you do run and get elected, it's a 3-year term.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you very much for coming over,
Thank you, Bob.
Kevin. Thank you for your service to the town.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.